So what if you could get up to half the cost of your next major equipment upgrade just covered? For any business in Ontario, this isn't some fantasy. It's actually a reality with the Save on Energy Retrofit program. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how you can tap into it. Here's what we've got on tap. We'll start with the big one, the money. Then we'll see if you're eligible, break down the two main ways to apply, zoom in on a solar example, map out the application process, and then get you ready to go. All right, let's get right to the chase. The number one reason you're going to want to pay close attention to this program is the financial return. It's pretty huge. And here it is. The program can cover up to 50% of your eligible project costs. Just think about that for a second. Getting half of a major investment back right from the get-go. That completely changes the math on any upgrade, and of course, it dramatically shortens your payback period. And look, this isn't just some number on a slide. Take Greenbelt Greenhouse. They got over $269,000 back for a lighting project. Their take? It's a no-brainer. So let's find out if this is a no-brainer for your business too. Okay, next up, let's figure out who this is for and what kind of projects actually get the green light. You know, the good news is this program casts a really wide net. So whether you're running a factory, managing a big apartment building, overseeing a school, or even operating a farm, yeah, chances are you're eligible to apply. And the projects are just as diverse. We're talking about high-impact stuff, things like installing solar panels, totally redesigning your HVAC system, replacing old chillers, or adding smart lighting. The bottom line is this. If your project measurably and sustainably cuts down your electricity use, it's probably on the table. So once you've got a project in mind, you have to pick one of two paths to apply. And don't worry, it's a pretty simple choice, and it's designed to fit whatever kind of project you're planning. The choice is actually pretty easy. Think of the prescriptive stream like ordering off an a la carte menu. It's for all the common upgrades, HVAC, lighting, with incentives that are already set in stone. It's fast, it's straightforward. The custom stream, on the other hand, that's like getting a custom-designed meal. It's for those bigger, more unique projects where your incentive is literally calculated based on the actual energy savings you prove you've achieved. To really make this real, let's zoom in on one of the most popular project types out there, solar PV. It's a fantastic example of just how powerful the prescriptive stream can be. Now, one key thing to understand is that this incentive is specifically for what's called load displacement. And all that really means is you're installing solar panels to generate power for you to use right there on site. It's about directly cutting down on the electricity you have to buy from the grid. And here's where the rubber meets the road. For smaller systems, we're talking 10 kilowatts or less, the program pays you $1,000 per kilowatt. For the bigger systems, it's $860 per kilowatt. Now, these are just ways of measuring system size, but the real takeaway here is that these are fixed rates. That makes it super easy to calculate your potential return before you even start. Okay, so you know you're eligible, you've got a project in mind, and you can see the money makes sense. The next logical question is, well, how do I actually do this? Let's walk through that roadmap right now. The whole thing is really just a clear 5-step journey. You're going to start by getting in touch with your local distribution company. Then you'll create an account online to get pre-approval. Once that's locked in, you can go ahead and install your project. And the last step? You just submit your final documents and get paid. Simple as that. This brings us to a really, really important question that, honestly, every single applicant has. When can you actually start the work? So here's the deal. Officially, you can start work as soon as your application is in. But, and this is a big but, the strong recommendation is to wait for that pre-approval. Why? Well, because starting early is a bit of a gamble. Your project might not get approved, or the incentive could be less than you were hoping for. Waiting for pre-approval, that's your guarantee. And now, for the single most important rule of this whole process, you absolutely must submit your application before you make any binding commitments. I'm talking before you sign a contract, before you issue a PO. Applying first is completely non-negotiable. If you get this timing wrong, you won't be eligible. Period. So you know the rules, you know the process. The final piece of this puzzle is making sure you have the right support to get your project across the finish line. And maybe the best part is you are not expected to figure this all out by yourself. There's a dedicated support line and email you can use. Plus, depending on where you are in Ontario, you'll have a specific company ready to help you find opportunities, build a rock-solid application, and see it all the way through. And that's it. That's your quick start guide to the Save on Energy Retrofit program. You know about the 50% incentive, you know who's eligible, you know how to apply, and you know exactly where to get help. So I guess the only real question left is, what energy saving project are you going to start first?